We are alive somewhere
Woohoo!
in
Is it?
this world. I don't know. It says live on my end. This meeting is being
That's
live
cool.
streamed. We're gonna look so professional.
I love it. No, but I mean, we did way better.
Yeah,
And other than an oopsie that I just had, and I still don't see it on my side, but yeah, I mean, it's
I
kind of
don't
funny that
see.
it still says preparing and yet apparently live. So yeah,
Let's
I haven't
see.
figured out how to change the title. So it's definitely on, but yeah, it still says some weird, like,
Yeah,
whatever.
we've got is it live? Yeah,
We'll
we're live.
update. I can see it right there. So
There we
anyhow,
go.
cool. Hey everybody, Wednesday morning, as close to 9:30 Mountain Time as we could possibly get. So let's next time maybe we'll be less than 20 minutes getting it all figured out. I think we're making progress. Let's just agree.
Yeah, we're making a lot of progress, but day kind of gets in the way sometimes. So
Sounds like you've been having a day already. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
do I want to get into it? I don't know. It's just I don't want to say like everything that could go wrong went wrong, because that's definitely not the case. That's a mentality that I would have had before. But it was more the circumstances as I was trying to get out to go somewhere, little annoyances kept happening and they kept building. And I wasn't too late for where I needed to go. But then when I got back and I was trying to get ready for this, little annoyances were happening. And, I was spilling things or whatever it may be, or bumping into things or trying to figure out, we had some problems with my lighting. And I was like, I was just in the energy of like little chaoses happening. Um, so I feel a little tinge, a little annoyance, but it's not like I don't think anything's gone wrong. It's just I can feel that part of me going like, why isn't it working?
Hello, is this thing on? Why is life not working right now? Yeah, well, I think it's a good conversation for today. So if you are not familiar with us and you're wondering why the heck you listened even this long and because you just couldn't get to your phone to tap next, I am Sheila Williams and this is Danay Novoa, and we are two intuitive coaches based out of Canada, different parts of Canada, but here we are as Canadians, and we are doing a weekly broadcast. I don't think we're going to call it a podcast, but it is a broadcast. Just offering some personal scenarios and some mindset coaching perspectives, if you want to talk about it that way, which we don't have to. There are all kinds of different ways that we can approach life and what happens to us, and noticing how we're reacting as opposed to creating, I think, is one of the keys to creating a happy life. So, Denai has different perspectives on things, and sometimes we definitely don't agree. But let's jump in with how Denai's day has been going, because there are days, right, where you drop the knife on your foot and then you spill jam and then I made a smoothie one day and I was so proud of myself for making such a healthy breakfast, and as I reached over to get the thing to clean the lid, smoothie everywhere all over the kitchen, like you really wondered how is it possible it spattered so many places. And I felt like, what the heck, I was doing a good thing for myself, why did that happen, why is this not working? And
Yeah.
so we all have those days. So let us know if you are watching, whether even if it's on the replay, like what happens for you, and just tell us in the comments, like what happens when those days where you just think, how could this still be going wrong? Like I did those 10 things, and why is there still more? So what do you think for yourself, Denai? Like what was going on this morning?
I think it started last night. I mean, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble with sleep, and last night I got tired at what I would consider the appropriate bedtime. And I was like, this is great, because normally my body's like, you're tired now. And I'm like, it's 6 p.m. That's not bedtime.
Yeah.
So I got tired around 10, and I thought, great, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna hop in bed and go to sleep. Uh, and I did. And then I slept for maybe 40 minutes and I woke up and I was up for a couple hours. Like I was like, not nap time, sleep time.
Yeah.
Um, but I have this interesting pattern when I have something earlier in the morning, I think I'm gonna go to sleep early, I'll wake up, I'll have enough time to get ready and go. But that night, my body's like, we're not sleeping.
Yeah. Yep.
So, so then I'll go, okay, well, I'll try. And sometimes I get very, very frustrated of not being able to sleep, and other times I just say, forget it. I'm going to do
Yeah.
something different, read or do a puzzle or something. Um, and I kept waking up every hour on the hour last night. And
Hmm.
I was like, this isn't fair is a term
Good.
that would come
Yep.
up in my head. And I know I'm not the only one. It's not fair. I did what I was supposed to do. I wound down, I did all the good stuff and got ready for bed. So when I was trying to wake up this morning, I woke up, but I woke up 2 hours before I was supposed to wake up. And I thought,
Yeah.
I still have 2 hours. Do I just get up or try to go to sleep? And then I slept through my alarm. Um,
Of course you did. I mean, come on. Of course you did.
so I eventually woke up hearing it,
Yeah.
and thought, I've never slept through an alarm. So you're already starting an energy. Like the way you start in the morning has such an impact on your day. So if you're
Hmm.
already starting where you feel like you're at a disadvantage, it has like you recenter as often as you can, but you're in that energy that like the day didn't even get started, like it's the wrong side of the bed or getting off on the wrong foot, like whatever it is. Um, but that's how this morning went, and I started getting ready and I looked at the time and I said, I got lots of time. And then suddenly I looked at the time and I had like minutes and I was like, wait a second.
Yep.
It wasn't like I was dawdling around. I was doing the stuff. And, so I was like, I'm gonna leave, so I have plenty of time. And, it was very interesting. And then when I was getting ready for this, I somehow spilled water on myself and I made a tea and I spilled the tea and I had this noise going on and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it was Sheila calling me for this meeting.
It's like, what is that noise?
So yeah, it's interesting. We have Anna watching. She says hi.
Yay! Shout out to
So,
Anna, our biggest fan. I
so
didn't say
yeah,
only fan, I just said biggest fan.
yeah. Oh no, there are other people. So I mean, it's too early for New Zealand. New Zealand watches us too. So um, but it's yeah. So just getting back to the topic, it's when things keep happening, and they can be the tiniest things. You don't have to have big dramatic things happen. As a human, it's the effect that compounds, like the idea that one thing happens and you're like, okay, it's just the one thing, and the next thing and you're like, okay, and it just keeps going. And it's like if somebody's poking you, and the first time that they poke you, you go, don't do that. And then they poke you again, and you're like, well, really, don't do that. And then they just keep poking you. At one point, you react. So it's sort of like the day poking at you saying, how tight are you to your center right now? And I'm good. I'm on a live. If I wasn't, then I would have said to Sheila, we're not doing the live because I'm too cranky. But I'm just a little irritated, and it's okay. Just
Mhm.
being irritated is okay. Being annoyed is okay. We're allowed to feel these things and understand that nothing has changed. Nothing has, your famous phrase, nothing's gone wrong.
So
Um,
true.
it's just you're having emotions come to the surface because things aren't working the way you expected. If I
Yeah.
expected to not sleep last night, maybe I would have been like, well, I got what I wanted. I didn't sleep. And then, I expected time to move a little faster this morning. That's okay. I got what I wanted. Or you're just completely detached. Then it changes the energy. But I felt an attachment to things working out in a particular way. So,
Well, and to acknowledge as you did that it's normal. Of course, we anticipate how things are going to go and we want them to go our way. And we're not necessarily surprised if little things happen, but again, when they just keep happening, it does get to that point where you are like, what the heck is going on? Like people joke, like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, so none of the tech's working and little things keep going wrong because it feels better in some ways think, oh, it's something outside of me that's causing this. I don't know if Mercury retrograde actually does anything, but but it's something, right? Like you just kind of put it out there, that it's out of you. It's not my fault. It's that thing. And even that is interesting when you notice, like, does it need to be anybody's fault? Like, if 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 it's someone's fault, then something has gone wrong. But as you said, my foundation is nothing's ever gone wrong. So I don't have to lay blame. That does make my life easier. But I picked up a couple of the phrases that you said. I wrote down, like, it isn't fair. That is such a classic one that we all have. It runs through our head. And I think it's really worth noticing what the situation is when that phrase goes through your head, because it shows you so much about the foundation you've laid, and usually about what your expectations were and what you hoped would happen and what you were attached to happening as an end result. And then when it didn't seem to be happening, it is a place that we jump to of it's not fair. And yet it isn't interesting. Like, it's not fair is almost never going to solve anything. It doesn't, nothing's going to feel better. In fact, it's just going to amplify the fact that you're not getting, oh, I did all the right things and I still don't get to have what I want. So that really plays into a story that feels very true for us. And we all have our different topics, right? Can't think of any off the top of my head for me, but it's well, I recently did a launch for a workshop, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do everything different this time because I haven't necessarily had new people come to my workshops. I love my workshops, and the people who have the past to come to all of them love the workshops. And yet, I don't know how to reach new people. That's a story that I tell myself as part of a coaching business. And so, okay, I'm going to do things differently this time. And I was very systematic, and I did a lot more communicating and personal invitations and posting on LinkedIn. I thought, there, 10 people guaranteed, right? Like, maybe not 10, but 10 would be awesome. And then even as I was talking to ChatGPT or whatever, it's like, Sheila, 10 might be setting your goals a little high. It's like, maybe four. It's like, okay, fine. If you want to kill my dreams, four. And at the end of the day, I had one. And that was interesting for me to process, because part of me went to, I did all the right things. How come 10 people didn't just want to instantly join my workshop? So I processed that, and I did. I let myself have a little boohoo moment. And then I said, but that person who is coming, she's going to love it. And she's excited to come. And that energy is the place to focus. It's not going to necessarily apply to every situation. You're spilling water on yourself by accident or whatever, and you're like, now I got to change my shirt. But just to notice, where am I at? Because the things that happen to us, that is what I believe is the evidence of where your energy is. Like, where are you focusing? And it's easy to have happen when so many things seem to be going wrong. It's easy to keep your attention on things are going wrong. But almost 100% consistently, you get more of where you focus on. And for us, it's so important to notice that must be where I'm focusing. So, as much that this is what I learned for myself, and then I'll pass it back over to you, Danay, but noticing how much attention I was focusing on people don't sign up for my workshops. I need to work really hard, and I need to put all kinds of work into making sure that they come, was not the energy, as it turns out. Yes, I was busy and I did a lot, but clearly my energy was still, I have a belief that people won't sign up. And so I received evidence of that. If I had shifted my belief before I did all the busy work of course people will sign up. I love what I do. I love these workshops. I know the power of them, and I trust that the right people will show up for them. That could have been a very different result. And so it's not that I did anything wrong, but I definitely gathered more evidence of what I'd like to do differently for my workshop in September. Go ahead, Denai. Any rebuttals?
No rebuttals. I mean, we've talked about this before. The topic is irrelevant, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's little tiny interferences in your day while you're trying to get out the door, or it's an interference nonetheless, right? Like you were looking at you have aspirations. You're very passionate about supporting people um, in the coaching work that you do. We both do. And you you create like a path that says like I want to reach people and I want to support them. But these little things that get in the way, our beliefs, the nuances, one of the things we probably will talk at more length in another live is external pressures. Um, all of those things, when they're coming in, they're an interference to the path that we want to engage in. Can you imagine walking somewhere and you're just on a sidewalk or a path, and as you're walking, people are walking in front of you and crossing in front of you, or like whatever, like just anything comes in your way and they keep walking in front of you, and you just keep saying, I'll just move over here a little bit, or I'll just move over there. But everywhere you walk, something stops you, and you just go, well, I'm never gonna reach that. I'm never gonna get there. I'm never gonna get what I want. It's not fair, right? But it's just the energy that's saying you have a bunch of things, whether it's a mindset thing, like your thoughts, or you have some resistance with your emotions, or you have external pressures or something, other responsibilities that are saying right now is not the time. Or change your energy, look at it differently, don't get attached. How many times have I gone for a walk somewhere or driven somewhere and the road is closed or the path is closed, and I go, let's just go a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go a different way. There's more than one way to get to where I want to go. But I can also look at it and say, they're out to get me, the world hates me, like life is always raining on me, whatever it is, right? Or I can just look at it and I can go, oh, I usually go this way. I can't right now, so I'm going to go the other way, And that has completely different energy. It's the same level of interference, but your response to it is very different. So whether it's your day and the goals of getting through your day and having things interfere, or it's your goals and you're having things interfere, it's how are you reacting to those
Mm-hmm.
things? Are you letting them get to you? Are you letting them break you bit by bit until you're crumbled into just this crusty little pile? Or are you saying, you know what? It's either not right now or I'll take a different way, but I'll
Yeah.
still get there. So hopefully that's helpful to people to understand that that it doesn't matter what it is. All it is it's an interruption to where you want to go in whatever form that is.
Well, and sometimes that can be a gift, right? And that's, I think, I talk about perspective a lot. I mean, I know it's like a coaching buzzword, but it is because it's true. When you allow yourself to see things from different angles, you do have a different vantage point. And that's I am a 5'3" and a bit. And people, my dad used to always put things away on the fridge. And I'd say, well, where's the things? Like, well, I just put it up here. Like, I can't see up there. How would I know that it's up there? Because he's over 6 feet. I literally could not see on top of the fridge. So perspective matters. Your vantage point matters. And I just got off a coaching call with a client, and she was telling me something that is very important to her, and it feels very true. And I said, of course, it does feel true. And the best gift that you can give yourself is to move yourself from that situation and come over here and being a bit more of an observer to it, because from over here you do have a different perspective. You can see what else may be true. When you're in it, you're too close. But if you move out and you see it from a different angle, you do have the opportunity to see, is that the only truth? Could something else be true? Could it be better than I think? Could this be easier than I realized? Like those questions that we use in coaching, it's all to get you to perceive the exact same conditions, but from a different angle. And, you talked about reacting. I talk about reacting versus creating. And when we notice that what we are doing and feeling is a direct reaction to conditions, we have to remember that we're giving our power away from creating the experience that we want. But when you're in it, it sure doesn't feel like you have too many choices. Like you're laying in bed and you can't sleep and like, what, like, come on, I did everything right and I need to get up early. I want sleep. It's really hard at those moments to say, you know what, it's okay that I'm not sleeping. I'm still relaxing. I'm still resting. My body is getting physical rest. I can feel the calm of being in this nice, cool, dark place, and I can just let myself encourage my thoughts to slow. I can encourage my muscles to get a little heavier. Like there are things you can do when you can't sleep. But if you get stuck in that loop of, I just want to sleep, but I can't sleep, but I just want to sleep, but I can't sleep, experts will say, like, when you're really stuck there, get out of bed because you're not going to fall asleep because you are so stuck in that loop of, I can't sleep. And it just, you get more and more resistance. And you called it, irritation and annoyance. But again, in our world, we call it resistance. You have so much energy all put on that one idea that you do need to shift it. And often getting up and doing something different is a great way of shifting it. You get a drink of water, maybe you have a bite to eat, maybe you do something else, and you give yourself permission. It's okay that I'm not sleeping. I'm going to try again in 15 minutes. And you detach a little bit from that loop that you were in.
Yeah. And I was just thinking as you were talking that one of the phrases, because I mean, I will message or talk to Sheila when things get to me. And sometimes with sleep, she's like, well, maybe, and it wouldn't, she hasn't said this exact thing, but one of the common responses is like, well, maybe that wasn't the time to do something because there was something else waiting for you and this opportunity for this great inspiration to happen. And then you could have created something magical. And I would have been like, blah, 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 blah.
Too much.
but but the idea is like it's possible that, uh you forgot something and that you needed to do it before you went to sleep, but your brain was like not settling because something
Yeah.
was off. So there's potential that, or you just don't sleep, whatever it may be. I was laughing with the fridge thing with the thing on top of the fridge because I've lived in a place for a while where I can't see out the peephole of my door.
Mhm.
I can go on my very, very tippy toes and I can sort of see enough. Like if a person's there, I can see. But when I first moved in, I kept the stool by the door because I needed to see out of the peephole. And then I gave up and I would just laugh when I walked by it and going, I'm short enough that I can't see, or they decided that everybody is tall enough. It's like a ride. Like you must be this tall to look outside your door without opening.
You are
So
not worthy of seeing out that people.
it makes me laugh, but like I giggled about it the other day because I could hear some rustling out there. They do some deliveries for people. And I thought, what is that noise? And I go, I'll just look through the no, whatever. Like
Well, it's kind of fun to notice that you obviously don't need to see out the peephole, or otherwise you would have found a solution, right? There would be something that feels better for you. And I do want to comment, you said sometimes your brain won't settle. I have learned to pay attention very much more than ever before when things don't seem to be going well, because that is often one of the aspects. You're trying to get out the door and think, why is it taking me so long? For me, I try to notice what those thought loops are. And when I say a phrase like that, I actually stop and pause instead of rushing around trying to, like, where did the keys go or whatever. I notice, ooh, I just said that phrase, which means there's a reason why it's taking me so long. And that is the time to regroup, because there are so many times when you think, oh, wait a second, I forgot that I was supposed to bring that thing, or oh, I didn't actually turn off the curling iron, like whatever. There is something. And I think you're so spot on to say your brain is telling you, your brain knows, but you're in busy, busy mode and you're not paying attention. And so when you can learn what your phrases are, and it might be things like, it's not fair. Oh, I should take a look at, what I was setting myself up for, because it probably wasn't success. for me, this is a big one too of like, oh, why is this taking so long? Oh, wait a second. There is something, and my mind is trying to communicate. So I need to pause and reflect. What is it that it is keeping me here for? Because there is a reason, there is something, and I need to realize that it's there, and then I will have success later on. I'm really setting myself up for that success later, as opposed to just being angry or irritated that I'm so late. And then later on go, oh, I was, my lunch was in the fridge. Like, how could I have left without it? But that happens all the time, doesn't it?
It really does. And I notice it more and more being, taking the observer perspective that you've talked about, because again, all of those things shift the perspective, whether it's taking a breath and pausing, or looking at it from a different sort of vantage point. Because one of the things that people may realize and just not fully comprehend, is the idea that when you're if invested in one of your own problems or challenges and such, like, you can't see it the same way somebody else can, because then you look at somebody else and they're going through something, and while you're able to have compassion or empathy and understand on some level what the experience is like, you have a wider vantage point than what they can see, and that opens you up to different solutions. Like, one of the phrases that we've talked about, um whether it's been on these lives or not, I don't know, but the idea is, when you're dealing with a problem, you can't find the solution in that same frequency. You have to go to a different state of being to see it from that different vantage point. So all these things happening to me this morning were probably just saying, chill out, pause, take a breath, and everything will work out. Every time we talk about the late thing, I always go to Lord of the Rings and I go, a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to.
It's
So
true.
that's what I think. I go, nope, I'm never late. I arrive when I precisely mean to. But it is very interesting to watch that, depending on our state of being, how we react to something. Sometimes something will get to me, and other times it won't. The exact same thing, depending on where I am, will have
Mhm.
a greater reaction, or I'll just go meh, or I'll even laugh about it. So it's always to do with you. When you get activated by something, something's going on inside of you that's activating it. It has nothing to do with what's happening outside.
Yeah.
So it is very interesting. So for me this morning, going through all these things where I needed to pause, it's good that I walk where I go, because it gave me that moment to kind of settle as I was going. But I was just being encouraged to slow down. But there are a number of times where I'll close the door and I'll go, crap, I forgot this, because things were bumping in my way, and the whole time it was like, grab this bag, grab this bag, grab this bag, and I didn't grab the bag. So I'll go back and I'll go, now I have the bag. So it's very interesting how the mind works and how it gets us, um to stop and just say, one of the things that you've talked about in the past is, traffic lights. People get frustrated when they get at a red light, but I think it's an opportunity to take a breath and
Mhm.
breathe. And sometimes I'm actually thankful. Okay, the green lights are great, but sometimes I'm thankful for the part to just kind of pause and settle. And I mean, there's a room for green lights in our life and a room for red lights in our life, and the yellow if we want to include them as well.
It's so true. All right. Awesome. Anything you want us to end on, Danai?
It's okay if you have things get to you in your day. Do your best to, one, understand you're not alone. Everybody gets annoyed at some point in their day and something pushes their button. Um, but do your best to pause or redirect, or find something funny. I find laughter is a really good way to shift energy. Um, but it's a natural part of your day, and it's your way of communicating something, whether it is pause and slow down, or remember to check this, or you forgot to do that. But it's just an opportunity to get to know yourself. And yes, it's okay if you get frustrated and, have a reaction. You're human. And that's pretty much why we do the work we do, is to help people understand that they're doing a great job. And we want to highlight your triumphs and show you how much progress you're making. So stick with it. And we're here hanging out, having these chats. So, what about you?
Nice. No, I'm not gonna step on any of that. It's a great place to be. And I think, again, it is just knowing what tools you have available in the moment. So using those emotions as evidence, as data. You're just collecting data. And it doesn't mean, oh, this is data that everything's going wrong. It's data that means I need to check in with myself and see, why am I at this particular place that bringing in this experience. And it very often is related to pausing and taking a breath, regrouping, come back to center, whatever language you want to do. But like anything, if you're into sports, if you're in the boxing ring and you don't have your solid footing, you're just going to get pummeled. And
Mhm.
so it is a moment to, let the bell ring and then go grab a sip of water and get that energy back into your center and feel that core strength and stability that you have. And you tend not to get pushed over quite as easily.
No, you want to bend, not break.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yes, the
Anyone
Weebles.
else live alive in the 70s? So all right. So until next week, thanks to anybody who has stuck it out this long. I think it was an interesting conversation. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like us to talk about, and maybe get a different perspective on, or what would a coach have to say about a particular situation, let us know. You can reach out individually or just drop a comment on the comment section in YouTube. But yeah, we'll show up next week, and who knows what magic and mayhem will ensue.
Yep, that's true.